I started from the service provider side. I was involved in the setting up of the national research networks in the Netherlands and became the founder and managing director. And we were told that we were there to provide advanced services, so we had to push the envelope all the time. That automatically meant that we had to look at the technical evolution and of course predicting the demand from our research community. And in doing so we always needed to push the edges, and of course that way you hit the evolution. And I became involved in many of the developments that were needed to push the envelope, to remove barriers, create boundary conditions like ISOC to help progress the service provisioning. So I've never been on the research side, I've been on the user side, you could say, but having demand users to service, I had to ask the questions to the researchers, to the industry and to the funders to help me make that possible. And in the Netherlands I was very lucky that the government and the universities and the research institutes really saw that need and always made it possible for SurfNet in the Netherlands to be at the front. And they still are. So we were very lucky in the Netherlands in that respect. Looking at the frontiers where we had to move on, the vision and courage to attack these frontiers were crucial, and collaboration was essential in doing that. And I always tried to find partners to step forward. And one of the major things we did in Europe, for instance, was to create a pan-European backbone in 1992 to make the national and local internet initiatives combined together to a real internet and connected to the rest of the world. We did that with eBone. And also, as I said, boundary conditions are very important. So we saw a need for a local registry for IP addresses in Europe, and we created the RIPE NCC. And also that was because we want to show the European governments, who are still very needed for funding the developments, that this was something globally and not something just in the US. That was one of the political important aspects of it all. So creating these things has always been my motive. And actually in 2000 we start to see that the internet as we developed it was maybe no longer just good enough for our research community, and we started to explore things outside of the internet, and we're still active in doing that as well. And this is, for instance, the Global Lambda Integrated Facility Collaboration, the GLIF, where we use lambdas and provide them directly to the researchers for their most demanding aspects. And of course, this is just one step for the next phase, of course, where we want to have an internet that will scale to the future for everybody. Being involved in the networking activities changed my life in a way that it made my work and my hobby collide. And I'm very grateful that my wife at home and my colleague Boudewijn Nederkoorn in SurfNet allowed me to do that, because traveling was part of that global activity. And in that sense it changed my life. I had to quit my normal hobbies, and I made this global activity a hobby, and my work and my hobby melted together, and I felt happy by that. Well, I'm very honored to be inducted now in this Hall of Fame. It's a real recognition of my efforts during my career, in which I always tried to work for the global internet, and to make it and keep it open and make it available for everybody. And also to translate the new technologies into new services. And in doing that by facing the opposition, and if I had this vision also had the courage to persevere. And I think now I'm recognized for being able to do that. And as I said, very honored in that.